Hey guys, this is James from Man Tripping and Heather
Chick Vacations.
And this video is being recorded about a week or so ago because we have an embargo, but I wanted to capture some of the excitement of driving this car. We're in a new Chevy Blazer. I'll post some pictures, maybe links to the pictures in the comments section. It's not the Blazer that everybody thinks it is. I've had comments on my Facebook page where people said, "Oh yeah, that car is cool, but it's going to cost you a fortune to gas it up." It's not the 1980s Blazer. Get over it. But what it is a freaking cool, all-new Blazer. And that's what we need to think about. We are in the RS version. We just went through some really twisty, turny, fun roads.
There's the back end of the RS version in front of us.
There's the back end of the RS version. It's not nearly as cool from the back as it is from the front, but it's still a really nice car. The engineers we talked with last night did some really cool stuff. It's very rare that I find in a segment like crossover SUVs that they spend a lot of love, a lot of attention, putting specific little details in it. This is the RS version. It's the sport version. So they've got nice little things like that with the accents. But what I think is cool is, pardon the sunshine there, probably you can see they've got little hexagon patterns even inside the vents, which is just a nice touch. For one of the first times, I think I really like the placement of the infotainment display. Pardon the bumping and jumping around here. Heather's having a lot of fun with the car.
Oh yeah, you got to take the turns good. And it handles the turns very well.
Yeah, so for those of you who are specs nerds, go look up the actual numbers, but fundamentally, this vehicle is almost as long as the Traverse. It's wider than the Equinox, and that space gives it a phenomenal wheelbase that is super, super stable. We are right now in the sport mode. There's also an all-terrain mode and a two-wheel and four-wheel street mode. The big advantage of the sport mode is it tightens the steering wheel a little bit. It tightens the suspension a little bit. But mostly when you go around a corner and you lift up the off the accelerator, it maintains the RPMs, so it's easier to jam it once you get out of the corner. Another thing I like about attention to detail is you can actually twist the air conditioning vent. It's a pretty cool little touch that really shows that Chevy is not just trying to make another SUV, but they're trying to make something special with innovation. And yes, they paid me. They did not pay me, but they paid for my trip here. But this is just from the heart, guys. Like, this is a really fun car, and I feel like a lot of people get the wrong conception because they're all hung up on what it isn't. But one of the people on my Facebook post earlier this week commented, and she said, "Wow, that looks a lot like the Corvette, or sorry, a lot like the Camaro." And she's right. And we talked to one of the designer, actually the head designer, last night, who I said, "Well, what was inspiring you in the car? Because it doesn't look like a lot of other stuff out there." And he said that they want to make sure that things look consistent within Chevy, like siblings, but not copies of each other. And then I looked at the Camaro last night, and the front end definitely looks inspired by the Camaro. I think that pulls through with the rest of the car too. It's definitely it's sporty. It's not a sports car. It's not the Camaro, but it's got a big, roomy back end area over here. It's kind of hard to tell, but
the bench seat can move forward and back like the the first model year Equinox. And I think.
Are we turning here? I guess.
Yes, I'll follow them. It's so your leg room could be very far if you need things up closer. One other thing that is really cool about it is they really worked hard on the info entertainment.
Yep.
And everything's condensed, and the things that you need most of all are up forward. So, James, you can go to the user section and create your own profile, so when you get into the car, see, look, like if you're a passenger, because it knows you're driving.
camera angle I think we're going to be able to do.
I don't know.
I'm not sure where that camera angle. On some of the trucks you can actually play. What the hell did I just do?
But on the users, you can program it so when you get in the car, all of your settings, whether it's your, it's got everything adjusted to you, which is really cool.
And there's also some practical innovations too. Like one of the things that frustrates me is that you get in the car and you're like, oh, where do I find the Wi-Fi hotspot information? Well, you can go hunt and peck through all the different buttons, but they actually made it so you can just touch right there, and there you go. And I just think that's a super cool thing. And then I think they said that you can press anywhere or something. Well, problem with a trip like this is we've been talking to these engineers and designers for the last 2.5 days, and some of the stuff is going in one ear and out the other. But overall, guys, it's just a cool car. I mean, they've done a really...
I'm stopped at a light, by the way, people. So there, you can see the rear view, right? And there you go, too, a little bit closer. Yes, when we were driving, we were also here for another event with Sierra, and I felt like I was watching the Sierras behind us off-road. I felt like it was a Sierra commercial. But, I mean, unfortunately, there's a Toyota behind us right now, but you can see the detail, how close it looks, and so it really helps guide you.
Oh, here you go, guys. So that's the different camera angles. It's working when you're stopped. This is super helpful right here in tight turns, like you're in a drive-through or in a parking space. You want to make sure you're right there. You can see both front tires. Now, from a dollars and cents perspective, this is the base version of the RS trim, and it's about $43,000. For those of you who want something a little bit more luxury over raw sporty, we were in the Premier trim. Or I'm sorry, the Premier was a personality.
They call them personalities. 3 distinct personalities.
So the 3 distinct personalities. There's the Blazer, which is essentially the base model for someone who just wants a good car. That comes with the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, and then the Premier and the RS both come with a 3.6 liter V6. It's actually the same engine or a very similar engine to what's in the Camaro. Tuning is different. This has a 9-speed automatic. It's designed for this with a very high compression ratio, using natural normal fuel, not racing fuel. But the Premier, like I said, ours yesterday topped out fully loaded at about $51,500, I think it was, including taxes and delivery. So if you want that experience, you can get it at about almost $10,000 cheaper. You can get just the raw sport if you want just a fun thing to whip around corners and have something that still makes you feel like a guy. And I was told that it's not just guys who want to feel sporty.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about there? Girls like to have something, going fast. I don't want to, yes, ours just a typical car. I want something that, especially here in San Diego, a lot of car manufacturers will come here and test their cars because we have such a variety of roads and twisty turns. You can be in the city, you can be in the desert, you can be in the mountains, and just have a good time and play. Yes, cars get you from one place to another, but why not enjoy it and play around with it?
And I think the thing that you can really come across, and we're at about 9 minutes here, so this video's gone way longer, way ramblier than I wanted to. But
YouTube video.
But I think the thing to really remember with this is that for way too long, SUVs became the replacement for the minivan. They were mommy wagons and daddy wagons designed to haul the kids around from soccer practice, but they were boring. They were mass market.
And no one that age anymore wants a minivan.
Yeah, well, even the SUVs. With all due respect to Chevy, and they've got some great. I love the Equinox. I don't really love the Traverse, but I understand why the Traverse is so popular. But they're mass market. They're designed for utility to haul the kids around. This is the kind of car you say, you know what? Unfortunately, I can't justify buying a Camaro because maybe it hurts my back to get down in the car so low. Maybe I still want to have the good space in the back for the kids or another couple to go on a weekend together. But I still want to have fun. I still want to be a man. I still want to have the thrill of driving. And as Heather keeps telling me, that's not just a man thing. Women like to have fun too. And I think that's awesome because ultimately...
That's very sexist of you.
But ultimately, both of us need to agree on a car to buy it. And I think that's where this car really hits a sweet spot. That, a couple like us that wants to have fun, loves to drive. This is a car we can both agree on that we enjoy doing it in.
Did you mention the base model, which is just the Blazer, starts at 27?
Oh, right. So I forgot to say the base model starts at 27.
Or base personality.
The base personality. And like I said, that's with the 2.5 liter engine. And we tested out a little bit. It's exactly what they designed it for. It's for someone who still wants the visual personality of the car, but maybe doesn't want to have
or doesn't need to.
Doesn't need to have the ultra sporty stuff, but it still handles well. It's lighter and the engine's a little bit less, but it balances out. It gains about 3 miles to the gallon over this one. What was this one? Was it? You know what? I'll post a comment with a description with the different specs. Gas mileage was respectable. It's not a super fuel efficient mass market vehicle. It's designed for fun, and sometimes sportiness just kind of sacrifices those ultimate high level numbers, but it's still good. You're not going to sit there and complain about the numbers. So with that being said, it looks like we're heading back into San Diego. We're out of the mountains. We're out of the super fun twisty turny roads that this thing was just sliding. I wouldn't say sliding because it was locked to the ground. It was really, really good in the sport mode with the all-wheel drive.
Crispy.
But you could whip it around the corners, and it was a lot of fun. But it's still pretty nice just on regular highway roads. And unfortunately, most of you guys are probably stuck in the suburbs with this kind of terrain is your primary going back and forth kind of stuff, and it handles great there too. So lots of room, lots of headroom. I am 6'2". This is going to be a weird shot maybe. Hopefully you can see me. I've got plenty of room.
He's on torso. For those of you that are on torso. But yesterday we were in the premiere, and that had
an awesome panoramic sunroof.
But it was close on your head.
Yeah. But it wasn't bad. When I took my hat off, it had no problem at all.
But that's typical when they add moonroofs, sunroofs, or the panoramic, whatever, that it does come closer on your head.
So one last thing, and then I'm going to shut this off because I'm rambling. Because I think this is such a great car, and I wanted to express my appreciation for Chevy and the appreciation for this vehicle while we were in the moment. Like I hate embargoes, but that's just a fact of life. But back to the innovation and stuff. Check this out. It's got a glove box button. You press that button. That might be kind of silly, but it's kind of nice to have. So with that being said, guys, make sure to check out the full review. I'm going to post that in the comments or the description. And have a great day. This car is in dealership lots right now. Make sure to go check it out. Have a great day. Bye-bye.